Happy New Year, my friends. Sneaking a little sip of coffee in there. Listen, what is the one thing that's going to make the biggest difference in your life today? Forget resolutions, forget goals, forget all this hoopla and hype that everybody gets on that bandwagon at the first of the year. And ask yourself, what is the one thing that I need to do right now that's going to make the biggest difference and have the biggest impact on my life and business? And if you do that, if you keep it simple, you'll have an amazing year, right? Yes, you need to increase your thinking. Yes, you need to widen and increase your goals. Yes, it's going to require massive action. It's going to require you to do things that you've never done if you want to get things that you've never got. But while everybody else is making resolutions that they're not going to keep, while everybody else is opening gym memberships that they're not going to continue to pay or show up for, while everybody else is talking about making $1 million but hasn't yet made their first dollar, my question to you is, what is the one thing? The one thing. There's a book called The One Thing, and it talks about what is the one thing that you need to do today that you maybe haven't done, but you could do right now before the day is over, my friend. Before the day is over, right? That's going to make the biggest difference in your life and business. What is the one thing today? Right now it's 5:42 on the East Coast. But you know what the truth is that I've already done my one thing. I'm on to my third thing. There was a time in my life, though, that I didn't understand that one thing, and I procrastinated, and I put things off, and I kicked the can around, and I talked about what I was going to do tomorrow. And I had the disease of procrastination that infects so many Americans and people around the world. And so many of them will be infected by that same disease once these New Year's resolutions wear off. So, my friend, what's the one thing? And if you can implement that one thing inside of your daily practices every single day, and when you go to bed the night before, ask yourself, what's the one thing that I need to do tomorrow? And if you forgot because you fell out or you were too asleep because you grinded too hard, you got up the next day and you said, what's the one thing that's more important than anything? And if you want to go higher, if you want to go deeper, then you might ask yourself, after you make your to-do list, which so many of us have been trained to do, these big, long to-do lists that overwhelm us and half the stuff never gets done, ask yourself, what is going to create the greatest return for me? And am I spending time doing things that are not actually bringing me the most return on my investment of time, right? Like maybe you're a speaker and you're spending a lot of time hunched over your computer doing technical stuff. Maybe you're working a job, earning $10 or $11 an hour when your real, true skill set is having a vision, in brainstorming, in mind mapping, creative ideas, right? Maybe you're trying to be a video person. Maybe you're trying to be a speaker, but your most valuable skill set, your unique ability, is to be behind the scenes doing technical stuff. When you start to really simplify and clarify what the one thing is you need to do every day, you'll then begin to get more clear and ask yourself better questions like, is this one thing my unique ability? Is this my most profitable skill that I'm utilizing right now to make the most of the effort that I'm putting in? And if it's not, then you don't do it, right? What's the one thing, my friend? When you figure that out and you do that for the next 365 days, right? Imagine that, a year, 365 different, one powerful things that you do every single day. I'm telling you, your life will change. How many people do you know that have sat at home day after day procrastinating, talking about their dreams, talking about their goals, and never even taken action on the one thing that can make the biggest impact on their life that day? How many people do you know? Is that you? If it is, change it. And don't worry about everybody else, and don't worry about anything else. Stop doing stuff that's below your pay grade. Stop doing busy work. Stop putting things off and doing things that are not important so you can, avoid the big impactful stuff. If it's challenging, if it's hard, if it creates resistance, it's probably the one thing that might make you rich and might make you happy.